Hello, friends. Today we are going to turn a felt panel into this wonderful characters brought to life. Come on inside and join me. Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 2 of the Thimbelina Felt Panel Sew-Along. My name is Jennifer Long from Sew a Story. I am an early years educator turned Riley Blake Designs fabric designer, and this week is one of my favorite weeks of all times. It is week 2 of a Felt Panel Sew-Along. It is our Thimbelina Felt Panel, and we are creating characters from this. We're taking the characters from the Thimbelina Felt Panel. Let me just move this open. We are taking these and turning them into these, bringing them to life, showing all the ways to do it, and having so much fun. We are going to I'm going to show you different ways to do it. You can just cut and play right away, but I'm going to show you how to do something like this, where you take the characters, you add the felt or the fusible fleece to the back, you even put the stabilizer in the middle, and you can take just a character and even add embellishments like this. I'm going to show you how you can take that and make these really come to life and sparkle and shine and really have texture and fun. All right, so without further ado, let's go get started.
All right, so let's begin all of the fun. I'm going to give you a few ideas of things you can do. Now, this embellishment is completely optional, but I'll show you a few of the things that I have. So I just have a few Aurifil floss colors here that I match really well with this Thimbelina collection. And I'm just going to use those to do some embellishments, like a few French knots, chain stitches, and just a cute texture for a lot of fun. Then I have these little Be in My Bonnet buttons. I think that they're just the perfect little size. A little disclosure statement is that if you're using this for young children, you don't want anything that is a choking hazard. So just be wary of the age that you are using buttons for, but you can add lots of cute little details and just have lots of little fun with them too. Of course, we're going to use sparkle paste, and we're going to add a little bit of texture and fun to these, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I have a number of colors that look fantastic with this collection here, and just a paintbrush. You can use the Thimbelina stencil as well, and you can just add like some sparkle into the wings. I think it's just going to be super beautiful. All right, and I like to add Craft Extra Firm heat and bond, like fusible interfacing, and I like to do this because it's so thin. It's so very, very thin, but it gives them just this hard, nice texture. So let's just go through a little bit here, and I'm going to show you just a few of the characters and what we can do with them. So on Thimbelina here, like I showed you, is I have a couple of French knots and some running stitches. I really like to do the thread, as you can see in floss, because I feel like it's just so fun, and it's a great way just to show off the accents and the threads in there. I also did accents on just any of the lines, so any of the line work in here, feel free, like in the hair or the wings. It depends on how much you want to do. Again, this is totally all optional. You can see that I've cut this panel into more manageable sections, and so I just don't want to cut every single piece out necessarily, but I'm going to do this just so that I can do some handwork on all of them. Okay, on the little house, I've added stuff to the leaf and to the flower here, so just some running stitches. And I was just working okay, here's just a cute accent on the leaves I just wanted to give her. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just take this floss. I'm using all 6 strands, and I'm just going to knot it at the back. Now, I just wrap it around once and then roll it off my finger like this. and pull. I don't know if you've ever done a knot like that or not, but it gives it like a great knot. And then from the back, you can see, okay, so I was actually finished here. You're going to cover this with another layer of fleece, or pardon me, felt if you want, or fusible fleece, or another piece of white felt on the back. And if you want to insert that in the middle, you can. But I'm doing all my embellishments first. And I'm just going to kind of come in here. And you can do it one of two ways. I found that it was quicker if I was going in kind of like in and out running stitch all the way along. All right, so like this. And pushing it through. And then coming back inside the gaps. So I just felt like that was a little bit faster than going back and forth, but you can do it either way. Now there's no right and wrong. This is like a great way to teach children stitches, especially if you have some older siblings that are maybe making this to play with, or making this for younger siblings, or some of them. All right. And just like that, you've got like a super fast running stitch. So you can do it that way. You can do it. I'm just showing you different techniques on this one. I'm going to come in and come back out. So I'm always working from the top. I feel like, especially when I have such a long thread, it's easier. And then just go back into that same hole and pop out again. And you can just work your way this way. You could do a chain stitch here, which would be lovely too. A chain stitch would go back halfway and split this in the middle, but I won't do that because it'll give a different look than the other two on there right now. But I'll just keep going back into that same hole. Keeping your stitches small keeps them safe for little children so they can't pull them and snag on them. I also love embroidery floss because it does give like dimension, and it does give texture to the felt panels, but you can see how easy it is to sew with felt, which is why it's so great for children and with children. This is great on the go if you're watching your other kids play baseball, or if you're like sitting at the sandbox with the children, or just on the deck, or wherever you are. This is like very portable work to do. So I love that about it. So there we go. Really adorable. You can even add a couple more lines in there. And then I'm just going to close it off. I'm going to just grab halfway through. I'm not going all the way through. And I'm just going to do a couple and pull it through in a knot into the chain and pull it in. Good. So that's one idea of how to embellish. Another idea, like we were talking about, was the buttons. So since I have this one already to go, I'm just going to continue to do that. And let's find one that a button would be really cute. Again, I can't emphasize it enough that we really want to make sure this is age appropriate. So, oh my goodness, wouldn't it be cute if we had a doorknob here? So I don't know if it would be cute in my pink thread that I just did. Oh my goodness, look at the brown doorknob. I think I have to change my floss just to do that. Yep, I definitely want to do that. So I think I'm going to use the yellow floss for that. So you can just be completely creative and fun. On this ladder, like it would be so cute to make those tops of the pins with buttons, or you can even make a stack of buttons on there if so, that's something you're using. All right. So again, this is 6 full strands of floss that I'm using. Oh, and I don't have my glasses here. Where did I put those? Yes, there we did it. Don't give up. All right, because it's 6 strands, I don't need to double that up, I'm just going to do it on the one side. Good. Oh, it's going to be so cute. All right, and we'll just go through a couple times like this to add a little bit of texture and dimension to this house. And it just adds a little bit of fun and playfulness. I'm going to go back and forth a couple of times. This button just has the two little holes, the two little eyes. I think that's plenty for there. Oh my goodness, so cute. So, so, so cute. There we go. Excellent. So like that. Anywhere else that we might want to add a button could be so fun. Just looking here, like it might be really fun. I have French knots on this, but wouldn't it be just adorable if we found, let's just see here, maybe like this button. And added a button to one of them. Why not? Let's do it, right? So I'll put there. Oh, I have to knot it still. And I kind of go around. That's why I like to have these pieces working at the same time, because I kind of go around, since I have the floss threaded already, and just kind of go around and go, what else could use like this goldenrod floss? And just kind of let myself be inspired by that. So you certainly don't have to embellish at all. This is all completely extra. You can just move right on to week 3 and finish these. But I just feel like this is so fun and playful. Just want you to make sure that you are doing age appropriate embellishments if you are doing embellishments. Good. All right, I'll put that off to the side like this. All right, let's take some sparkle paste now, and let's do a little bit of fun. So I'm going to use the snow, like this iridescent one here, and I am going to add some sparkle in on the wings, because I just feel like this is so fun and adorable to do it like that. So I'm going to open this up. All right, so this is what it looks like. Oh my goodness, it's so fun. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little bit on the end of my brush here. We don't need tons. And I'm just going to work in the sparkle in between. Oh my goodness. Yes, yes, yes. It just makes them magical, right? So this week is all about like having tons of fun and being really, really creative. I don't know if that's reading on the camera for you or not, but I'm going to show that to you. Look, can you see? I love it so much. I'm going to do it to all the fairies. I wish I could just paint sparkle all over myself. Now, if you don't want this sparkle will dry. You'll just follow the directions. You can head to the website to see directions as well on how to do this. But basically what you need to do is just you paint it on, you let it dry. If you want to heat set it, then you put a piece of freezer paper on it after about 30 minutes of drying, and just heat set it with your iron, and it becomes permanent. So that way, oh yes. So then that way, yeah, we need to wash it with a cloth, if you're washing these, or if you have little hands that touch them, they won't have sparkles coming off on them either. So fun. Yay. Okay, I can't miss any of the fairies because they all need... And this is Thimbelina here too. I think the butterfly could have some. You could just, I mean, every piece could have it, right? I mean, do we need to stop? I mean, I'm just putting tons of this iridescent sparkle on there. Look. Oh, it's so gorgeous. I mean, I think you could even blend it with the stitching you've done here already. You can move it into the house. I'm going to put it in the windows here. So cute. Wonderful. And you can have fun with the other colors too. So make sure you close that up nice and tight. Little tip and trick is if there's going to be a long time between your uses, make sure you close it up really tight. And then a tip that I like to do is, just so that it doesn't ever dry out, is I just put it in a piece of saran wrap, and you can keep it really, really fresh as well, like that too, if you want. So that's just an option. Okay, what other colors should we use here? Oh, I know. Okay, I'm going to use some pink in the pink ears. Ah, look how beautiful it is. Wow, it just really adds to it. I mean, you can go ahead and just have so much fun. With felt panels and sparkle paste, they go together so well. Look at that. So much fun. Okay, I can't stop. I'm sorry. I'll do maybe one more and then I'll stop. Okay, let's find somebody. How about I do this flower here? That's pink. I'm going to do some on the flower petals. Good. You can wipe off your brush in between, or another idea is just go from the lightest color to the darkest color too, as well. I'm going to use these two products to finish them off, but again, what you can do is just cut, and I'll give you both ways. So if you want to do like the full all-in way, then you're going to use this Craft Extra Firm Heat and Bond, and it's so thin, and it just gives a little bit of strength, or actually quite a bit of strength inside your felt dolls, just so that they don't bend. I'm going to show you exactly how thin this is. It's like as thin as a piece of paper. And then you can either back them on behind that to like hide all of this with, I'm going to use fusible fleece today, but you can use a piece of felt as well, or whatever you need. So I'm going to move those two off to the side. I do have it in yardage here, and I'm going to start with my first piece. Okay, so I'm going to take this first piece, and I am going to take a piece of, this is the Craft Extra Firm. All right, so you can see here it says Craft Extra Firm, and I'm going to lay it on top. And like I said, I just roughly cut it before, so I'm going to do the same thing again. And just roughly cut this like this. Okay, here I'm going to go to my iron and press this, and then we're going to take the fusible fleece and do the same thing. So I'll be right back. I'll just come back, go and press it, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here it is. I pressed it to the back, and you can see how like paper thin it is, but it's also nice and strong now, so it's not really floppy at all, and it's great for these shapes. I pressed it face down like this so that I'm pressing on this side. A good point is no steam on your iron. Press up and down. Make sure that your felt panel is flat underneath, and test on a little spot that is not, just an edge of the felt panel or the instructions part of the felt panel. Just test it there and just make sure. This is super high quality felt. I've never had a problem, but just every iron is different. So just you make sure you test it. I'm using my Aliso iron. All right, then I'm going to take a piece of fusible fleece. Again, you can just back it with felt as well. And I am going to roughly cut that piece as well. And I'm going to go press this. Now, I'm going to give you some options to do. This is like the full all-in way. And another way would be just to do only the fusible fleece. So just to press with only the fusible fleece. And that would give you just a little bit more body to them, but still there. Or like I said, just a piece of felt. Or you don't need anything and you can just cut them like this. We'll talk about cutting them in a second, but let's go and press this piece on here. And I'll be right back again. Okay, so there we have it. I have all 3 layers in here. It's feeling like quite sturdy and quite strong. So I'm gonna get ready to sew. I'm gonna bring my sewing machine over and I am gonna sew inside the center of the beige seam allowance, or the lightest seam allowance. Now you have 2 options. I do put 2 seam allowances here for a reason. You can cut on the white seam allowance or you can go on the outer seam allowance, the 1/2 inch. And the reason why I do that is because if little hands are helping, it's so discouraging if you end up cutting into your shape. So just giving them that little extra buffer can really, really help. But if you want to have like a really tight, clean, and detailed cutout, then you can just do that on that white line. So depending on where you're cutting is where you're going to sew. If you're cutting on that outer line, maybe just sew right on the color change of the seam allowances. But if you're going to be cutting on the beige seam allowance, which I will be, then that's where we will we'll sew in between those. Okay, so let me just move over my machine. I'm going to bring it on over here and we'll turn it on. And I'm going to bring you down a little bit and we'll sew this together. All right, so I've set my machine here to 2. I've reduced the stitch length. It's just going to be a straight seam. I want to put it in a needle down position once I get going. And I'm just going to start in one spot. I think I'm going to start underneath here. So I'm just going to start in, I'm going to lower the foot down and I'm going to start in a needle down position. And that way it's going to make it so easy for turning around all these little corners. I'm going to be going in between, like I said, this first seam allowance. So I'm just going to sew in here. When I get to the corner, I'm in that needle down position and I'm just going to rotate slightly. And it's going to really help me just get around everything. One more, so nicely. Excellent. I'm going to cut this off. And especially when you have, I'm glad I chose this shape to show you, especially when you have a lot of different curves like this, it's really nice to keep that needle down and so that you never lose your spot. And it makes a really nice, even turn. Now, if this shape was like too much to handle, you could cut it in here. I know I'm just rotating it around. Some of these pieces I have like in really big. Once I do that fusing, then I will probably cut them up, rough cut them, so they're easier to handle inside of here. Excellent. Oh, this is so satisfying. Oh, it's so fun. And I just love, love, love sewing with felt. When you're sewing with felt, well, number one, I feel like it's so easy. Your needle goes through, so nice. And make sure you do have a nice sharp needle, of course. But, I'll show you why I'm not cutting anything ahead. I'm just going to reverse here, and then I'm going to cut. Excellent. Over. Beautiful. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that or not, just like this. Okay, I'm going to come around and give you a little better angle, and we're going to trim this together. Look what a great job it did. Yay! All right, so we're going to just cut this out now, which I maybe could have done before I started sewing, so it's just easier to handle like this. This piece I still need to sew, so I'm going to move it back to my sewing machine here. And I am going to cut. You can use whatever size of scissors you feel the most comfortable with to do precision. You can use a smaller pair here. And I'm just going to cut all of the second seam allowance off. And the reason why I'm cutting it all the layers at once together right now is it's going to give this really clean edge. So if you try to cut them and then match them and then sew them, that's totally fine as well. But cutting everything at once it's completely in place and fused together and sewn and there's no more shifting, is going to give you this really, really clean sewing edge here. And it's going to just allow for just a really polished finished look with very minimal effort, I will say, because you only really have to cut once for all of these layers instead of like 2 or 3 or 4 times for all of these layers and then try to match them. So it's really the most user-friendly experience to do it this way. And I'm going to show you what it looks like after. So I'm cutting that whole 1/2 inch seam allowance off. Almost there. And again, you could do the sewing in your sewing room and then the rest can be done, you know, while you're watching a movie or whatever. Oh my goodness. Yay! Look how cute this is. Now look how sturdy it is. It's not like overly sturdy. I can still bend it, but it does really hold its shape. It's not floppy at all. So that's why I love to use all of those stabilizers. And there is our first piece of the Thimbelina Felt Panel collection, and we're going to continue the same process through all the pieces that we want to do in this way. You don't have to use every piece this way. You can be creative. The reason why I love to give you all of these pieces is because, you know, if you wanted to put this on your backpack, you can do that. You have all kinds of options, but there is choices for everything. And if you wanted to give a couple of these pieces to a child to do and you do some of the pieces, it's really about the experience together. So I can't wait to see what you create with this.
So this is so much fun. You don't have to make every single character on the felt panel. You can make some now, some later. Maybe you make a few and give it as a gift now. Maybe you hide them around the house, or you even send some for the children to make as well. But however you decide to make your felt panel characters, I cannot wait to see them. They are so much fun, and there are so many ways you can use them. You can use them just like this, like felt panel toys. You can even put them as like backpack tags if you want to, or you can use them on the back of a jean jacket to embroider. There's just so many different ways to use them, and I have seen so much creativity come from our communities. I'd love for you to come on over and share how you are using the characters from the Thimbelina Felt Panel. Come on over into the Sew a Story Facebook group, share it on social, tag us at Sew a Story everywhere except on Instagram. It's _Jennifer Long. And I can't wait to see what you create with this week with our Thimbelina Felt Panel. Next week, on week 3, we are going to be making this together, the cute little pockets and totes. I'm going to show you how easy it is because, you guys, this is raw edge. Just like these are raw edge, so is this. So we're going to have so much fun. I still have some work to do. So I'm going to take this tonight and take it over to the living room and cut and sew and sparkle it up and have a lot of fun. So I can't wait to see what you create, again, with the Thimbelina Felt Panel. Come on over to the website. Make sure you're on the newsletter because lots more fun is happening. Okay, I'll see you again next week. Bye for now.